Hello there and welcome to lesson 10 in the series to learn programming in Scratch. Today you're going to learn how to use variables in your program so that you can keep the score for a rugby match. As most of you probably know, the purpose of a rugby match is to score more points than the other team. Rugby is played with an oval-shaped ball and all balls must be between 28 centimeters and 30 centimeters in length. And a full-size ball weighs about 400 grams. You can run with the ball and kick the ball, but you may not pass the ball forward. Rugby is a contact sport, so you may tackle an opponent to get the ball, as long as you stay within the rules. There's a referee and 2 assistant referees, one at each goal line, to ensure that everyone plays by the rules during a match. Kick-off is from the center line and the ball has to move at least 10 meters forward. There are several ways to score. A try is worth 5 points and is awarded when the ball touches your opponent's goal area. A conversion kick is worth 2 points and is added for a successful kick through the goalposts after a try. 3 points are awarded for a penalty or a dropped goal. Rugby matches are divided into 40-minute halves with a break at halftime. The teams change direction of play after the halftime break. Before the start of the match, the referee will flip a coin to determine which team will kick off, and the captain of the team that kicks off decides in which direction they're going to start playing. Answer the questions about this topic in your workbook. In this lesson, you will be using variables for the first time. A variable is a place in the computer memory that can save a value. We give this place a name so that we can refer to it in the program. The variable's saved value can be displayed and changed during the execution of the program. Computer languages such as Java and Python have strict rules regarding variable names. You are, for instance, not allowed to use spaces or special characters, but Scratch accepts any names. Select meaningful names, though, as far as possible. For example, total, points, radius, so that it's easier for other people to understand your program. You can save numbers, words, yes-no values in variables, and you'll even create sprites to save in variables later on. Today, you will only work with numbers. To create a variable, click on the dark orange group named Variables, and then click on Make a Variable. Then type the name for your variable in the opening, for example, score, and then click OK. We use the set block to allocate a value to the variable. This dark orange block will store the number in the white opening, parameter, in the variable. Any value previously stored in this variable will be lost and replaced with a new value. We use the change blocks to change the existing value of a variable. This orange block will add the value in the placeholder or parameter to the value already stored in the variable. If the number in the opening is positive, the value of the variable will increase, and if the value you type in the parameter is negative, the value stored in the variable will decrease. For example, if you want to keep track of the score during a sports match, it usually starts at 0, and during the match you add to the score. Let's create a variable named score. Make the score 0 at the beginning of the match when you click on the green flag, and then add 1 to the score when you click on the button. When you create a variable, this block represents the value stored in the variable. This block's value can be displayed on stage by ticking the box to the left of the block. The variable value can be displayed in 3 formats: normal, large, and slider. You can display or hide the value of the variable as the program executes by using the Show Variable and Hide Variable blocks. This dark orange block displays the value stored in the variable. This dark orange block hides the value stored in the variable. When you right-click on the code blocks, you can attach comments to the code so that you and other people can understand what happens where in your program. For today's assignment, create a program in Scratch with a rugby field as background. Save the program as rugby. Put 8 buttons on stage, 2 for drop goals for each team, 2 for penalty kicks for each team, 2 for tries, and 2 for conversions for each team. Create 2 variables to keep the score for each team, and write code to add to the scores when you click on the various buttons. Display the total score for both teams. Save all the changes to the program. Here is an example of what your program might look like. Use the design cycle again. Make a point of considering alternative solutions. Plan well and test your program repeatedly while coding. Write down any questions you have about the exercise in your workbook. Do you need variables for a try and a penalty and a drop kick, or do you only need variables to keep the team's total scores? And then plan the layout of your stage again. Complete the steps you need to code for all 8 buttons in your workbook. The code for the buttons is very similar. Only the number of points and the team to which you add will differ. For example, when you click the button for a try for Team A, increase the score for Team A by 5. Then follow your algorithm and write your program. Test constantly to check if everything is working the way it's supposed to. And now use DeBono's 6 thinking hats again when you jot down thoughts about what you've learned, felt, and experienced during this lesson. In the next lesson, you'll learn how to use variables in your program to do calculations about solar panels. Until then, goodbye.